Stanley Urban Survivor's Man here with Wyatt Grivet. We're going to be talking about solo room clearing. If you're in a house by yourself, you hear a noise and you've got to clear the house by yourself, what's a safe way to do it? So this is really a lesson about close quarters combat. So there's several different ways that people shoot, and I'm not going to say that any of them are wrong. I just prefer a different method. Now, of course, there's the Isosceles shooting platform where you're in kind of a horse stance and the pistol is projected out like this. A lot of people like shooting on the range like that. That's great. There's a lot of flaws to it about movement and close quarters combat, so that's something to consider. I like the modified Weaver stance because it's also a knife fighting stance, stick fighting stance, and a sparring position in the martial arts. Plus, as you turn your body, you're not as big silhouette. Fairly large target, not as large target. In a typical modified Weaver stance, you project out. This arm here is locked out, and this one's here. You can also use the isometric shooting platform, and that's another lesson some other day. But that's the modified Weaver stance. Now, the problem with any of these stances when you're clearing a house is if there's a corner or wall here, as you come around, that pistol is the first thing out there and can be easily compromised. So you want to keep it close into the body. Now, a lot of people who use the Isosceles platform will tuck it in real tight like this. They have their pistol right here. You've probably seen this, or even the switch of hand, that kind of motion. That's fine and dandy. I'm not going to say it's wrong, but think about it. When you're in a dark house, lots of furniture, walls, and you're clearing a room or a building by yourself, if you have it like this, it can be compromised also. Someone come up out of the dark or around the corner, and it's right there. There's also this train of thought where people will keep it down here. Kind of the failure drill that we teach in firearms training, where people will draw, bring their hand against their heart, and fire. Yes, you shouldn't miss at this close range. If you do, you need some more range time. But anyways, this is fairly safe, but a lot of firearms instructors will teach this, where they teach if someone does approach you, you use your hand to push them away, step back, and then fire. Problem with that is that, for an instance, your hand is out here. Your hand is downrange. So you don't want anything out here. You don't want your muzzle to cross anything that you're not willing to destroy. Sound familiar? So I have known a police officer who has done that. He pushed a perp away as he was stepping back. He drew his pistol and his hand was still out here, shot himself in the hand. So I personally don't like the hand out here. Plus, it can be easily defeated. Watch. If a perp comes up to you and you push your hand out, he can block it and go right for your pistol. So even tucking it way back here is not that safe. Here, you've got it. Let's see, you're right-handed. Let's switch sides. So again, people train to take guns from this low ready position, right? Even if it's pointed at me, all I have to do is jump in or jump to the side, come out, and then compromise the pistol, and then the pistol's mine. So just some thoughts. Not saying it's wrong, but there's a better way. What we like to do is, there's the modified Weaver stance. This is a side profile. Bring the pistol back, and there's the natural rotation of the wrist. You'll notice that as you're pointing the weapon at someone, your arm's locked out, when you bring it back, there's a natural rotation. Nowadays, they call it coaxial rotation of the wrist. We've been doing this for decades, and we never call it CAR, but hey, sounds great, let's use it. Anyways, you bring the pistol back, and it goes at a slight angle. Not the gangsta stuff. Okay? It's at a slight angle, natural rotation of the wrist. Bring it up so that your sight plane is right there with your front sight. So as you're clearing a house, it's close up here, it's close to your body, and your elbow is fairly projected. Not way out here, and not like this. I've seen some firearms instructors talking about this kind of stuff. Nope. Once again, you don't want anything to cross that muzzle you're not willing to destroy. That's your arm. I don't want to destroy my arm. So here's my shooting platform. I'm going around the house, clearing the house. It's dark. If I start to come around a corner and if somebody does come out, I roll the elbow, make a circle with my body, and bring the pistol back up. Again, it's this motion. So anytime someone tries to grab my pistol, boom, 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 boom. Okay, again. And as you see the bullet path, once again, you come in and you're pointed up. You can see that trajectory path is going to clear all the major organs. So So again, from here, as he comes up to grab it, roll and return fire. All right? So let me look right at the camera. So from here, you bring it back. You're clearing a room, your elbows out. As they approach, you circle and come right back. It's a great way to defend your pistol. It can even work if they're coming from a side or even from behind. So again, I'm clearing up a house by myself. It's dark, and someone tries to compromise my pistol from, if you come from this direction, tries to come from behind, and same thing, shoulder rolls. All right? So easily you can defend your weapon without them getting a hand on it. So that's the first thing to know about when you're clearing a house by yourself. This position, bring it up, good sight picture, coaxial rotation, elbow slightly out, and so you can clear a house. Now let's go talk about the doorways. Good. So when you're coming up to a blind doorway or a hallway corner, you don't want to do any of this stuff that you see in TV, or coming out and standing here like this. This is the fatal funnel. The last place you want to spend a lot of time in, because there's going to be possible incoming rounds. So you don't want to stay in the doorway very long. You also don't want to be sticking a gun out as you come around, because it can be easily compromised. Thus, this platform, right? I've got my elbow up, I'm away from the door, and I'm going to slice the pie as I look around the corner. What that means is that I'm going to dice up this room into small segments slowly. So I come up to the door in this shooting platform, my elbow out, I'm away from the door. You don't want to be crammed into the door like this, but away from the door. And now I'm going to peek around that doorway quickly with a head bob, with the pistol and ready, there. And that section was clear. So now I take a small step, take another peek. It was clear. Take another step, peek. It was clear. Take another step. At any time you see a bad guy, then as you peek out, you engage. Because the best defense is hiding behind a wall of lead, right? Sheetrock won't stop bullets. But if someone's going to take a shot at you, you send a wall of bullets towards them, that's a great way to hide. Hide behind a wall of bullets. Empty the magazine if you need to. But okay, so you come around the corner, nothing there, keep clearing it, and slowly work your way around the door. Now, if you're right-handed, you may want to switch to being left-handed. I do that. I'll switch no matter which corner I'm on. I'll switch so that I have a smaller profile. If you're uncomfortable with switching, then you'll have to lean back. You're going to be exposing more body, but you can do that. Here, I peek out, now take a step. Peek out, take a step. Peek out, take a step. Peek out. Not as optimal as if you're switched to the left-hand position and peek out. Smaller silhouette, smaller profile, less of your body to get hit when they start shooting back. So that's slicing the pie. Okay, so I begin slicing the pie. There, gauge. I don't want to be coming out here and exposing my whole body, but I want to be slicing the pie and peeking. Like that. So you slowly do that all the way around until you've sliced the entire room up into segments and you were able to visualize. Now, once you've cleared it all the way, don't just come walking in here and stand in the center of the room. Once again, this is kind of the fatal funnel. You want to follow one of the walls. Follow close to one of the walls. You want to keep in tight and make your way forward to clear the next part of the room, scanning for furniture and other pieces of a desk or whatever's in the way. So stick to the walls if you can. You don't want to be going out right into the middle room doing this kind of stuff, because you're going to be attracting a lot of unwanted attention if there is a bad guy in that room. So a lot of people ask me about dynamic entries. Dynamic entries in a solo environment is extremely dangerous. You can do it, but only do it if you hear someone that you know screaming and shots fired and things are getting ugly quick. Then you rush in. It is better to take your time and slowly slice the pie and move with caution through the building or through your house instead of rushing in. Because if you're rushing, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what the situation is. So it's best to only do dynamic entries, which is rushing in, if you have a partner or a full team, like a SWAT team, which is always handy to have when you're doing that kind of work. But even with a SWAT team, we only do dynamic entries when there's an urgent need to clear the building or clear the room. So once again, take your time slicing the pie and looking for those bad guys. You don't want to rush into an unwanted situation where you haven't, understood what's going on. You may be the victim instead of the hero. We'll talk about dynamic entries next video.